Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick. Today we have set number 70590, Airjitzu Battlegrounds. Comes with 666 pieces and contains 5 minifigures, as well as a decent 3-section building. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool build just looking at it here, and rather large, so we're going to split it up into several sections. So the first parts that come off are these two little Airjitzu Flyer launchers, which we're just going to set aside for now. We'll be back to them later because they are kind of the most functional part, but we're going to take it a little further just so we can get to a slightly higher level of detail. We're just removing the 2 separate side buildings, and we're going to start with this one here. And this here is kind of just a wall, obviously, to make it appear like part of an arena. But it is a decent looking building, kind of reminiscent of the Temple of Airjitzu just in color scheme, and kind of a little bit style, but not exactly. It's got the nice red roof, nice angle. This is done with, just hinges, but I think it looks good and is relatively effective. And just the bottom is very straightforward and simple, but you get these 2 nice printed parts. But if we, want to put Lloyd up there, maybe sneaking across the roof, we are able to demonstrate the play feature, which is that, kind of. That's, for the most part, I think what they were going for, but the real point here is that, you can put a figure on here. You probably aren't really supposed to just stand them on, like you're supposed to just, rest them on there, or maybe they're standing on the roof or something. But basically, pushing on this in the back will launch them, and they'll go flying. But I think that looks, or works decently well, and it's nice to get a little extra play feature added into a, Airjitzu set. But I think that overall this looks nice, with the lanterns, with the nice red and nice glass prints. So, I think that this is a good side building. Let's move on to the other side building, and then we'll get to the rest of the arena. So the second side building is kind of a little blacksmith shop, almost. And it's definitely reminiscent of the blacksmith shop from the Temple of Airjitzu, because it is a very similar color scheme. Because it's got 4 weapons in there, you can just remove those from the clips. Not going to, because that takes a little bit of effort. I really like the way they did the boarded up windows. I think that's very nice looking, and I think because of that, this one looks a little bit better than, this other one. And it also has a little bit more kind of depth feeling to it, so I like that. The lanterns are a little bit weirder on this one, but I think they did a really nice job getting the nice angles in this roof. I think it works really well, and I actually like it quite a bit. There is also a play feature on this one, though. There's a little ledge here, and you can, stick your figure on the ledge, and I guess I should zoom out just a little. So if you have your figure on the ledge, you can just push on the back and he goes flying. Or you could do this the other way around and keep it out like that, which I think it looks worse in this state, but I kind of like the feature a little bit better. Just gotta get him to stand, and then you just pull it out and the roof falls from under him and he slips. So I kind of like that, but I think it looks better if you just keep it back. So either way, I think works, and I think overall this is just a really nice looking building, or like its main function is a wall, but I think that it looks nice as a wall, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but it's a nice looking wall. So let's move on to the grand. Alright, here is the grand staircase entrance thing, and this looks okay. I don't think it looks nearly as good as the other 2 parts, but I think it is decent. I wish that there was something else that this made sense to attach to, like, so that you could have something back here. But since it's raised up so high, it doesn't really, it's not like you could put these buildings behind it and then maybe it's entering into like a street or whatever. You need to do some custom building in order to make that work. But it is possible, I guess. There are some features on here, but first, you can see the back doesn't look too good. This is where you activate the main play feature of this thing, which isn't the world's greatest, but we'll take a look at that in a second. The front of the doors basically looks like doors. Let's remove the other figures. Not these ones. Those ones are statues, but just looking at this top section, you can see the roof looks nice. Nice Japanese styling there, and you have an arrow blade, which is cool. You can remove that and use it as you wish. Maybe dispose of Yang with it or whatever. But the staircase, I guess we should probably get these guys out of the way, but you can see there are two statues and they just stand there. We'll take a closer look at them during the figures, but they have two faces. One side they're just statues, just like that, and the other side they come to life and become Sensei Yang's ghost students. But removing them, you can see the staircase here has, actually I guess we should probably use them to demonstrate the staircase. But on the staircase you can walk up, or you can have your figures walking up. Ooh, whoops. It's not perfectly set up. The feature was already broken. But there, this is kind of working, I think. Not exactly, but basically moral of the story is the stairs are supposed to be flat. I don't know why they all aren't, but this one works well enough. So when you pull the thing in the back, the stairs just go like that, and you push them back and they're all good like that. So I guess maybe I just didn't push it back hard enough last time, because now it seems like I can stand them on the stairs again. And then they just slide right down, and I think that is a nice looking and nicely working feature. I just wish you didn't have to have these Technic pins on the side. I think if these weren't there, this would look a whole lot better, but it works decently. And the front of the wall is a little plain, but you can't do a whole lot about that. And then the other thing up here that you have are these two Airjitzu Flyer launchers. You can take these and you can use them. They're exactly like the ones in the Airjitzu Flyer sets. And there's one for Lloyd, one for Nia. They aren't in special colors because it would look a little weird and asymmetrical. But without them removed, it looks a little plain. So these also do a nice job of acting as decorative columns. And I think that works really nicely. And the last thing that we're going to do before we take a look at the, big play features of the set is reassemble the little arena. And to do that, you just go like that, insert the axles in, and that is what the whole arena stadium looks like without the play features. So if you want to remove the Airjitzu Flyers, this is what it looks like. You get an actually decent looking scene. I think that looks pretty good, and you could also put like Yang up there in the middle. And yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. Let's take a look at how the Airjitzu Flyers work. So in the set you get two of these Airjitzu Flyer launchers, which clip onto the ends of the buildings. We're going to take a look at just one of them for now, because, we only really need to see one of them, because they are exactly the same build. The only difference is the color of the Airjitzu Flyer that's here. And this thing actually works differently than the Airjitzu Flyers, which, by the way, you saw those, like the columns, they do also include regular Airjitzu Flyer launchers to use with those, or like the ripcords. But this here is works opposite of that. It actually pulls the flyer in a different direction, so it spins on the ground like normal, spinjitzu. All you do is pull this handle in the back, and then it spins like that, just on the ground. And the real magic behind this is that when you take the this rack here, which I'm not sure if this is a special piece for this set. It might be. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a big, massive Technic nerd. I don't know all the Technic parts. But when you turn this, the blades turn this direction, as opposed to with a regular Airjitzu launcher. With this setup, you turn it like this, and the blades turn this way, which creates lift. And I'd show you this up in the air, but I don't think that's a really good idea, but we're going to do it anyway. So, you'll see we go like that, and it kind of flies off the ground. Here we go again. And it did gain a little lift. I didn't pull it too fast because I didn't really want it to go anywhere. But that's kind of a demonstration of the difference between the Airjitzu Flyers and the Airjitzu, ripcord things here. So, let's see if we can get two of them going at the same time in the arena so you can get the full effect. Before we go into that, I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at how the Airjitzu Flyers work, because I realize some of you might not be familiar. In order to put a figure inside, you take that off just by twisting it. You open this up, place a figure in there, and you replace the canopy, and then you stick it inside and twist. And that's how you get a figure inside there. So, let's see if we can, I'm just going to leave Lloyd over there, but let's see if we can get the whole Airjitzu Dual thing going. So this is going to be tough, because I only have two hands, and it kind of takes two hands for each one. So I don't know, I'm going to take these guys out so that they don't go flying anyway, or because they're going to go absolutely crazy if I just leave them here. But if we take this, pull it back, well, let's try the other one. And Airjitzu flop. And we finally did it. And maybe we just go like that. Hey, that's what it was like the whole time. I promise. Alright, so here is Airjitzu Lloyd and Airjitzu Nia. And these guys are actually really nice to get, because if you remember in the last wave of in the wave of Airjitzu sets, I should say, the whole team of original Ninja was created, but Lloyd and Nia were missing, so it's nice to finally get one for them. It was about a year later that these guys came out, but you can see they have really nice metallic printing, and Lloyd has minimal printing on the legs, but I really like Nia's pattern on the front of her torso and legs. It's especially awesome to see the shiny blueprint. I think that's really nice. Lloyd's a little less impressive and more similar to the other Ninja. The symbols on the backs of them are both pretty cool, though. I like Lloyd's quite a bit. However, I think Nia's still steals the show. It's really nice to get like a full dark red and blue color scheme for this. They also both have their ninja masks in plain colors, dark red and green. It's pretty cool. I believe these pieces are both exclusive to the set, unless they're in some of those magazines that they only get over in Europe. But in the US, they're exclusive to this. And there is Lloyd's face, nice and angry, and Nia's, which is kind of cool actually. I like that one a bit. But that's these guys, both exclusive and both pretty cool. And next up here are Sensei Yang's students, and they actually have names. This guy's Chris with the big staff, and this guy is Martin, Chris and Martin. So they're pretty cool. They're both exactly the same figure, though. You can see that all they have is different weapons. This guy has a big staff. This guy has a sword. They both have the classic ninja mask in gray, which is cool, and it has a double face. One side is for when they're actually like alive. The other one is for being statues. You can see the front of their torso print is pretty cool, as well as the back. It's basically just a statue with like vines starting to grow over it. And I think that it's relatively like it's not super detailed, but I think that it is detailed enough, and it's nice to get these guys, especially. I think that this was a really nice inclusion in this set. And last up is the one and only man himself, Sensei Yang. And there's kind of a better look at him so you can see his face and all, just because my lighting is a little weird because it's kind of a little bit above, so by default you're not really going to see his face. But we'll fix that in just a second when we take off his hat. It's just a silver rice hat. And his weapon is the Ying blade, which is really cool. Arrow blade in translucent yellow, as well as a short chain with the spring green fangs, and just a cool departed blade there. And the face is exclusive to this character. Also appears in the Ultra Stealth Raider though. Torso print is nice, works for Yang, like the print on the back a lot. The front is simple, but it is covered up by his Gandalf beard in black. And the legs that he gets are these ghost legs, originally introduced with Possession, and I guess they have a lot of, or they have to use this mold for something, so now they're using it for all the bad guys. Because they used it for Nauticon, now they used it for Yang. I do think that he would have been better off with legs because that's what he has in the show, but it is nice to get this piece again because black legs aren't very, aren't very rare. But overall, Yang is a cool figure, and if you don't watch the show at all, it's definitely really nice to get those ghost legs because it makes them look more interesting. Alright, so this set as a whole, I think, is a fairly solid set. I think that the landscape builds in the center are really nice. I actually like them quite a bit. They obviously could have been done to a higher level of detail, which I would have appreciated. However, the average target of, the target range of these sets really probably would be fine with this the way it is, and they probably wouldn't, worry about having, like, a super intricate level of detail. However, I think they would have appreciated it as well. It's just not a main priority for them. I think that the big thing that this set had to get right was that Airjitzu function. And I think that the Airjitzu function, turning it into, just spinning on the ground, I think it works. I think it looks better than the original Spinjitzu things. However, it's a whole lot harder to accomplish. I think that you definitely need to have two people, you need to have a sibling or something in order for that to really work for you. Because as you saw in those many takes, I don't know how many I'll put into the video, but it took me ages to get two of them just spinning at the same time, and I couldn't do it while it was like this. Maybe I could have turned the entire thing around, and maybe I will try that and just do some more takes of spinning to throw in before, so I don't know if you'll have seen that. But, like, especially from a filmmaker's angle here, it's impossible to get these both spinning to actually, battle each other. But overall, I think that even with just one of them, it works well. And you also have the inclusion of the flying Airjitzu, the Airjitzu Flyer spinners. So I think that, what they lacked in, ease of use for this, like these spinners, they made up for by just including the other ones as well. So there's really not a whole lot you can complain about, except from an adult perspective. Most of us probably would prefer to just scenery building set, not get rid of these. I know personally when I'm going to display this, whoops, I didn't mean to do that, but what I am going to do is just go like that, take these, I don't know what I'll do with them. I'll probably put them with my other Airjitzu Flyers, and I'll just leave it like this, because I think that this looks better, and it's just going to work for what I want it for. I think that it would have been nice if the spinner things weren't, like, used less pieces and weren't trying to be integrated with the, arena. And that's kind of my opinion on the set. Obviously, I think that there's going to be people who are a lot less critical because they like the feature, and I do. I just, would have preferred the buildings, because that's really my favorite part of the Ninjago theme, just the, scenery and all that, the Japanese architecture. I think that that is just, what I really expected when the set was announced. I expected like a scenery set, but that's kind of what we got, kind of not. I'm going to stop complaining, stop pointing out small little things, because overall this is a good set, especially if you're, a figure collector. They did some really nice stuff with that. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys all later. Bye, everyone.